This is the Porsche Taycan and I'm filming it right beside a turbine, so how appropriate. It is one of the fastest cars that money can buy. It sounds like an F1 car at times, and when you put it into real world terms and you look at the Turbo S version that'll do 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, there is no other car you need on the planet apart from this. It's got 4 seats, it's got a frunk, okay, it's a 70-litre frunk, but it's still got a frunk, a usable boot, and you can upgrade the batteries if you like to 90 kilowatt hours. It'll give you a range, give or take, of less than 400 kilometers. But the Taycan, in any version of it, is not really about range, it's about performance. So this version has 21-inch alloy wheels. The skirts are millimeters off the ground. You want to be careful of that. Air intakes on the side. The charging ports, you slide the finger and open them. Like, how cool is that? Even that's a cool little party piece. AC and DC charging, so there's ports on both sides. You've got more air intakes here and Porsche's LED matrix system headlights, which when they're coming at you, if you know what I mean. It's really low slung. It's like obviously a Grand Coupe style of design, and it's in this black and black, so eye-catching. This red strip along here will light up if you've got your main lights on, but with daytime running lights it's not. The button for the boot, it's just down here. I wonder, maybe you can kick it, but you know, I'm not going to try it 14 times. It is an electrically opening boot. So as for road presence, well, it doesn't come any better. By the way, the brakes, the discs are absolutely huge. Porsche caliper in black, you can get it in yellow. I love it in black though. It's real stealthy. So it's gorgeous on the outside. Let's check out the inside and then we're going to go for a quick spin. And thanks so much to Porsche Centre Dublin who've given me this Taycan Turbo for a few hours anyway. Forced you to do it to give it back. And they've got loads of stuff upstairs. If you're into Porsches, they've got classics. They've got some other things on 4 wheels. Even in there, you'd spend a little while having a nose around. We are strictly a 2-seater back here, much like the Audi e-tron GT, which obviously this car, platform-wise, is based on. Now that seat can raise up nicely off the floor, and there's somewhat cutouts on the back of these seats to give your knees a bit of a break. You get your own individual air conditioning. You get heated seats, the roof with glass. It's close to the top of your head, but it's all right. You've got a good size armrest. You might as well leave that down all of the time because, like I said, it's a 2-seater. Still get a bit of a hump on the floor despite it being an electric vehicle. Your view up front, like I love the way I'll get to it in a second, but the passenger has a screen. You can actually see the speedo configured on that side, so the more nervous of passengers may want to look away now because this car is an animal. It's seriously quick. The stitching on doors, all that good stuff feels very Porsche. I mean, I've sat on the back of a Panamera and it's pretty much on a par, you know. So where other companies get accused of trying to make the cost of EVs work by reducing the quality, not in a Porsche, my friends, not in a Porsche. Don't like how far they come down though. Oh, I like that. Little light up there. Nice. Climbing in behind the wheel of the Taycan and, well, welcome to Spaceship, the Starship Enterprise. Buttons, glass, leather, high quality plastics. Everything greets you as you'd expect it should in a car that costs this much money. And the tech is pretty amazing. I didn't have to sync up my phone with this car. It was able to just hook up and connect to media devices straight away. I've never been in a car before that can do that. The voice control, I'm told, is amazingly reliable. Hey Porsche, I'm cold.
Please repeat the entry.
I'm cold.
It will be warmer soon.
Play FM 104.
Station FM 104 set.
You can even program in your home, and if you're very wealthy, and chances are, if you're considering buying one of these cars, you are, you can tell this car to open your automatic gates, so when you arrive, they're open and ready to drive in. I mean, come on! Where am I?
This is your current location.
Pretty much works every time. Glass here, glass for your passenger. They can look at devices, connect up to their own devices. You can set the speedo on that side also if you like. Your storage for cup holders is cool. Down here, there's more with USB-C ports everywhere, and you can hook up a cable for your phone as well through that. 12-volt charging. It's quite a small armrest space down there all the same. There is an analog clock with a digital center inside, and your selector for forward and reverse is just here with a big chunky gold, of course it's gold, lever. Your displays are bright glass, crystal clear, not haptics, just really, really sharp, and you can flick between Sport and Sport Plus mode, which will lower the car down. In fact, you might even feel it lowering down as I'm filming this, and it's all very easy to use, like a massively sophisticated and complicated car with so much tech, yet you jump in and within 5 minutes you know how to work things. And the fact that they've achieved all that in such an expensive, tech-heavy car is remarkable. Messing around with the settings of the car are all controlled through this screen, which you can tweak and then have the shortcut for drive mode on your steering wheel button, and you can raise and lower the chassis height. You can set how severe, or whether it's on auto or just off, the recuperation system is. And it's all, as I said, just easy to use, and timing it, pre-cooling and heating, preheating the car for when you get into it on cold mornings. It's all just so easy to use. Front and rear cameras are also the sharpest I've ever seen in a car. And then in here, you've got the best seat in the house. It's a little bit firmer in Sport Plus mode. You'd kind of expect that. So you've got a 4S with a Performance Battery Plus. That's got a 79.2 kilowatt hour battery. You can swap that for a 93.4 kilowatt hour battery from this Turbo or the Turbo S. That's 523 brake horsepower versus 563 brake horsepower. Then there's the 671 brake horsepower Turbo in 3.2 and the 751 brake horsepower Turbo S, which is 2.6. And in any of those latter models with that performance, you just wonder, would you actually need it? Even in this car, the performance is absolutely staggering. The neck snapping feature is always the test for electric cars. Well, how about this? It actually hurts a little bit. The chassis and handling of the Taycan rivals that of roadsters, much lighter, resulting in it driving more like a sports car. A few weeks ago I had the Alpine on the channel, and the change of direction with the steering wheel, I remarked that a roadster like that, you can't beat it. Yet how come Porsche with batteries can do the same thing in a car? As soon as you touch that wheel, the car is moving within precision. Now, it doesn't have the same levels of feedback as a 911, fair enough. You could be just wondering where exactly the front wheels are, but nonetheless, the sharpness of the steering, that can't be denied. Flooring it. Oh my God, it's like nothing I've ever driven before. Really, that instant torque, it's quite amazing actually. Find the right charger, and the charging time for 5 to 80% is 22 minutes. You get a lap timer in case that's your thing, because of course this is the fastest EV around the Nürburgring ring, and I can totally see why. They've used double glazing in the windows, and yeah, you can hear the odd vehicle going past, but that lovely whine that comes in as you brake the car, you hear that and the same when you screech off from a standstill. But that noise over pillars that you sometimes hear from EVs, just because they're quieter, they've all but eliminated it. Knock the shortcut back down to normal, it's still an absolute beast in terms of performance, but it just doesn't feel quite as rigid if you're not in the mood or the roads don't suit it. If only all cars had that option, it'd be amazing and a lot more comfortable for when the moment is right. There is no doubt there are more efficient EVs that you can buy for this and less money, but they don't drive like this. Get this thing onto a motorway and you are just gone. I can only imagine what this is like on a German autobahn, because on motorways here it's blisteringly fast. Then when you arrive at your more regular twisty routes, that's just when the car is as much fun but even more engaging to drive, as it tucks into bends and crests and you sweep around country lanes and the car just whooshes along. It's spectacular. I would dare anyone to get behind the wheel of this car and tell me it's not a hoot to drive. I don't know how anyone could come to that conclusion. I'd nearly say it's impossible.
Be careful what size wheels you spec if comfort is your thing.
I'll give you the warning that 21-inch alloy wheels will make your setup feel firm, and that's even in normal mode. Drop the chassis in Sport Plus, and yes, the car is obviously more taut and even better around corners, but those 21-inch wheels then really do. You feel everything. Squeezing that throttle though. It is an incredibly quick and fun machine. It truly is.
Porsche have designed the car so that launch control can be used over and over again, and it'd be rude not to try it out.
Whoa, Jesus Christ! I expected the Taycan to be good, but it has surpassed all expectations that you might have of a performance EV. I don't know how I'm going to compare I'm just going to have to erase my memory and pretend this didn't happen, because comparing every other EV that I'm probably going to drive, bar maybe the Plaid or the e-tron RS GT, there's just nothing else that's going to be able to touch it.
It's now 90 years since Ferdinand Porsche set up what was to become one of the most famous automotive brands in the world. I wonder what he'd make of this new generation of cars bearing that same famous badge.
I totally get that not all EVs are like this and not everyone's going to get to drive this type of EV, but how could you not be excited for the future, whether it's electric or another alternative source of fuel, when mass manufacturers, albeit Porsche, can create a car like this? If you're even considering waiting for something else to come along when this is on the market, if you can afford this car, you'd be insane not to just snap up a Taycan, and obviously a Taycan Turbo or a Turbo S if the wallet allows for it. I don't think any of them need the power they have, but it's amazing bragging rights, and if you ever did take it off onto a track, well, you get to have extra fun. It's a truly spectacular car, and I've been absolutely blown away today by it. And if you are one of those people considering it, on behalf of myself and everyone else, probably 99% of people watching this video, we're all jealous. Thank you very much for watching.